गुड आफ्टरनून, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड इवनिंग ऑल ऑफ यू जब भी जिस टाइम पे भी आप ये वीडियो देख रहे हो. So today we'll discuss the vertical circular motion. Generally we will do this part of topic in working and in power. So today we will see different conditions in case of vertical circular motion. So write down the heading vertical circular motion. Vertical circular motion. Why I'm saying that in case of vertical circular motion, work energy in power chapter, work energy in power, concept of work energy in power will come in picture. Why so? Because in case of vertical circular motion, just assume this is a wall. On this wall, if you are going to fix a nail over here, and if you are going to suspend a bob from it, and if you are going to provide some circular motion to this bob, so definitely the potential energy of that bob is going to change. And as long as kinetic energy, as far as kinetic energy is also change. So the involvement of two kind of energy, kinetic energy and potential energy will come in picture in case of vertical circular motion. But in case of horizontal circular motion, like if the circular motion is happening on the floor, potential energy will not change. So only energy associated with horizontal circular motion, kinetic energy. So detailed way of work near power will not come in picture in case of horizontal circular motion. But in case of vertical circular motion, the analysis of work in power will come in picture. So let's see. First, let's assume there is a fixed point over here. This is a strength over here. There is a mass m over here. There is a mass m over here. Let's assume this is the bottommost point. This is the same wall. Bottommost point, you are providing some velocity. So this bob or this mass m, whatever it is, this will move in a particular circular arc. This will move like this, like this. Now, right now, I am saying that this distance from O to M, this is going to be constant. So at any point, the distance is going to be L only if the string has the length of L. So definitely we can say that the path is going to be circular. Now assume some angle theta over here. If you are providing velocity over here V0, someone can ask what will be the velocity at this point. Let's assume velocity at this point is V. Someone can ask, sir, what is going to be tension at this point? So two terms, tension and velocity, tension and the speed will come in picture, and that will play a major role in this case. To calculate V, we can apply work release theorem. Why? Between point A and B, if you are going to see, at each and every point, tension will be always towards the center. That means tension will be always towards the displacement. Displacement is along the tangent, tension will be along the radius direction. So tension will be always perpendicular to the tangent. So work done by tension is going to be what? 0. Work by the tension is going to be what? 0. That means work done by non-conservative force, I can say. Non-conservative force is going to be what? 0. So here we can say change in kinetic energy plus change in potential energy will be equal to what? 0. Because mg will be the conservative force. So only non-conservative force is tension and work done by tension is 0. So that's why I can write this equation. Conservation of mechanical energy. Change in kinetic energy, if I am going to draw half of mv square minus half of mv naught square, this is going to be change in kinetic energy plus change in potential energy if you are going to observe. So change in potential is nothing but m multiplied by g multiplied by this height h. And if this height h, if you are going to calculate, this h is nothing but L total length minus this length. And this length is nothing but L cos theta, because this distance is also L. So you write L minus L cos theta. This is going to be L into 1 minus cos theta. Put it over here. Change in potential energy is going to be what? Mg multiplied by L into 1 minus cos theta. And this will be equal to what? The change in potential energy will be positive what? Because particle is moving in upward direction. From here you can find out half of mv square is going to be what? Half of mv naught square minus mgl into 1 minus cos theta. This thing you can figure it out. From here if you are going to find v, so v square is coming as how much? V naught square minus 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. And if you need to find out v, so remove the square term and add the root over term in the RHS side. So this is going to be velocity at a particular point. Now if you have to find out tension over here, for tension calculation draw the free body diagram. If you are going to draw the free body diagram, so in free body diagram you will observe mg will act in downward direction. Apply the circular motion concept. You know the circular motion concept very well. Apply the circular motion concept. If you are going to apply the circular motion concept towards the radius, that means towards the center, if this angle is theta, this angle will be 90 minus theta, this angle will also be 90 minus theta, this angle is going to be what? Theta. So I can write according to the circular motion, tension minus mg cos theta. T is nothing but tension at this point. T minus mg cos theta will provide mv square divided by radius r. Centripetal force. From here you can find out tension, and tension value is going to be what? Mg cos theta plus mv square divided by r. V value I have calculated, put it over here. So this is going to be what? Mg cos theta plus mv naught square divided by L minus 2mg into 1 minus cos theta. Now you can solve this equation and you can find out the tension at this particular point. So this was the basic term, this was the first term. According to that we found out tension and the velocity, speed at a particular point. This was the basic. Now apart from this, some many cases will come in picture, like someone can ask, yes sir, we are providing some velocity. Just assume there is a nail over here, there are some bobbies over here. Someone can say, sir, if I am going to provide less speed at the bottommost point, then at some point this bob will go and then it will return. If I am going to provide more speed, then it can complete a vertical circle. Something, many, one more case will occur. What type of case? If I am going to provide a particular speed or a particular range of speed, then what will go? What will happen? Just assume nail is over here. The bob will go up to this point, and at this point the string will slack, the string will lose its tension property, and bob will just follow the projectile path. Bob will just follow the parabolic path. These kind of cases. So based on this V naught, now we'll define 3 cases and we'll see what will happen in case of different kind of cases. So the first case I'm going to depict over here. So write down case 1. Case 1. Someone can ask, sir, can you please find out minimum velocity required to complete the vertical circular motion? So case 1. Minimum velocity required to complete circular motion. To complete vertical circular motion. Vertical circular motion. That is what I need to find out the minimum velocity V naught at bottommost point. I will specify the location of this wheel also. That means this is the hinge point. Here the bob of mass m is over here. Now I am asking to find out minimum velocity of V naught so that this bob will complete the circular motion like this. Circular motion like this. So this thing is clear. If this bob or this mass m has to complete vertical circular motion, then it need to cross this point. It will go up to this point and then it will cross. It will cross this point. Now if you are going to observe at this point some velocity is required so that some inertia property will come in picture and this bob will now further move in this direction. So let's assume we are providing some V naught velocity over here, and here the velocity at this topmost point is something V1. Because of this V1 only, it will now travel in this right here. Now mark this as point A, mark this as point B. Apply the energy conservation between A point and B point. If I am going to apply the energy conservation between A and point B point, so you will see half of mv naught square plus, let's assume I am assuming here gravitational potential energy equal to 0. You can assume at any reference point. This is my reference point. So half of mv naught square, I write potential energy, initial potential is 0. Final kinetic energy is what? Half of mv1 square plus final potential energy, I can write mg multiplied by 2l. Mg multiplied by 2l. This thing I can write. From here, if you are going to observe, so v naught square I can write v1 square plus 2g 4gl. 4gl I think. 2 to 4gl. v naught square equal to v1 square plus 4gl. This is equation 1. Now I have asked the minimum velocity required, minimum value. That means I am asking the minimum value of v naught. If I have to keep the minimum value of v naught, then I need to keep this v1 minimum also. I need to keep this v1 minimum. If v1 is minimum, then only v naught will be minimum, because this 4gl is going to be constant term. If v1 is minimum, then only v naught is going to be minimum. So now I need to figure it out, what will be the value of v1 minimum. So let's say, if you are going to draw the free body diagram over here, then you will see tension T will act in downward direction, mg will act in downward direction. So tension plus mg at B point, at this point, tension plus mg will provide the required centripetal force, that is mv1 squared divided by r. Now if I need to find out minimum value of v1, so I know this tension is going to be variable, minimum value of tension possible is 0. So let's take tension equal to 0. To calculate minimum value of V1, I am going to take tension equal to 0. So from here mg will be equal to what? mv1 square divided by L. From here you can find out V1 square is coming as what? GL. This is equation 2. Put the value of equation 2 in equation 1. If I am going to put the value of equation 2 in equation 1, so I'll get now from 1 and 2, V0 square is going to be what? GL plus 4GL. From here V0 is going to be what? Root over 5GL. This one is the minimum value of V0 for which this will complete the circular motion. Now someone can ask, sir, what will happen if I am going to provide the velocity more than root over 5GL? If you are going to provide the velocity more than root over 5GL, then some tension will occur over here. For the minimum value of V0, that is root over 5GL, tension at the topmost point is going to be equal to 0 and V1 value will be root over GL. But if you are going to provide more than the if you are going to provide the V0 value more than root over 5GL, then V1 will be greater than root over GL, and in that case tension will come to picture at topmost point. But minimum velocity required to complete the circular motion is root over 5GL. So here now I can write down the output. V0 should be greater than or equal to root over 5GL. V0 is nothing but the speed provided at bottom. Now I'll proceed for the next cases. Next case, what? Someone can ask, sir, what will happen if V0 is less than root over 5GL? Now write down what will happen if V0 is less than root over 5GL. If V0 is less than root over 5GL, then two cases will occur. First case is what? Oscillation of bob. Oscillation of bob. This will occur. In this situation, what will happen? Velocity becomes 0. Yeah, speed becomes 0 before tension. Becomes 0 before tension. And another case will be equal to what? Slacking of strain. That means tension equal to 0. That means what? In this case, tension becomes, yeah, you can write down slacking of strain. In this case, tension becomes 0 before speed. Now I'll figure out these two situations. First I'll go for the oscillation. So let's assume at some point over here they are providing some velocity V0. This thing is clear. If this is a fixed point, oscillation of pendulum or oscillation on bob, or any ball will happen in this region only. That means for the oscillation process, it need to go maximum this point. Beyond this point, oscillation case will not occur. So if it has to perform oscillation, maximum distance in right side it can go up to this point, maximum distance in left side it can go up to this point. So let's assume the boundary condition. Let's assume the particle reaches over here. That means after reaching over here, the velocity, the speed of the particle is going to be equal to 0. In this case, this is the boundary condition. This length is there. Apply the energy conservation between A point and B point. If you are going to apply the energy conservation between A and B point, so you will figure it out. Key half of mv0 square plus 0. Here I am assuming the reference point, that means gravitational potential energy equal to 0 at this level, plus 0 will be equal to final kinetic energy is going to be equal to 0. Final potential energy is going to be nothing but mgl multiplied by mm will get cancelled out. V0 square is coming as what? 2gl. From there V0 is coming as what? Root over 2gl. That means if V0 is equal to root over 2gl, this mass will go up to this point and then it will return back and it will go up to this point. If V0 is less than root over 2gl, then it will go up to this point, some point over here, then it will return back, and then it will go up to this point, then it will return back. If V0 is once again more or less than root over 2gl, then it can go up to this point, it will return back, then it will go up to this point, and then it will return back. So to oscillation of bob, so for case 2, this is case 2. For oscillation of bob, I can write if V0 is less than root over 2gl or equal to root over 2gl, then oscillation of bob will occur. Oscillation of bob will occur. Okay. Now someone can ask, sir, if V0 is greater than root over 5gl, then particle will complete the circular motion. If V naught is less than root over 2cl, then particle will perform the oscillation. What will happen if V naught is between root over 2cl and root over 5cl? So if V naught is between root over 2cl and root over 5cl, in that situation, this case will occur. So let's write down case 3. Case 3. Case 3, that means slacking of the spring. Case 3. If V naught is greater than root over 2cl but less than root over 5cl, in that situation what will happen? In this situation I am saying Bob will start from over here. This is a fixed point. Bob will start from over here, but at some particular angle theta. This Bob will leave the circular path. Why this Bob is leaving the circular path? Because at this point tension is going to vanish. That means tension is going to equal to 0. And after this point, the Bob will go in parabolic path. This is the case will occur. Why I am saying so? Let's assume this is a point A, this is a point B. Let's assume at some particular angle theta here, tension is going to be equal to 0. Let's assume at some point B here, tension is going to be equal to 0. In that situation, let's assume here the V naught velocity you are providing, and here the velocity along this point is something V1. Apply the energy conservation. If you are going to apply the energy conservation, half of m V naught square plus 0. Here I am assuming gravitational potential energy equal to 0. So half of m V naught square plus 0 will be equal to half of m V1 square plus, if this angle is theta, you can write down that this height is going to be what? L sin 90 minus theta, that is going to be lot L cos theta. L cos theta. Half of m V naught square plus 0 plus half of m V1 square plus potential energy increment mg into L plus L cos theta, you write. So half of m V naught square will be equal to half of m V1 square plus mgl into 1 plus cos theta. Now I am saying if V naught is greater than root over 2gl, less than root over 5gl, then this situation will occur. Let's take V naught equal to root over 4gl. Let's take V naught equal to root over 4gl. Then in that situation what will write? This one is going to be half of m V naught square, that is going to be 4gl, will be equal to half of m multiplied by V1 square plus mgl into 1 plus cos theta. Calculate that from here. See, m will get cancelled out. So this one is coming as 2gl equal to V1 square divided by 2 plus gl into 1 plus cos theta. Let's mark it as equation. Now here I am saying tension is going to be equal to 0. Here I am saying tension is equal to 0. So according to that I can write down the equation over here. If at this point tension is going to be equal to 0, so if you are going to draw the free body diagram, mg will act in downward direction. The component of mg in this direction, that is mg cos theta, will only provide the centripetal force. So now I can write what? Mg cos theta will be equal to mv1 square divided by L. So from here, v1 square is coming as what? Mm will get cancelled out, gl cos theta. Put the value of v1 square over here. So 2gl will be equal to what? v1 square divided by 2. That means gl cos theta divided by 2. Plus gl cos theta. This thing you can write. From here, this one is going to be gl. This one is going to be 3gl cos theta divided by 2. gl will get cancelled out. Cos theta is coming as what? 2 by 2. That means at this angle from vertical, the tension in the string is going to be equal to 0 and Bob will leave the circular. So this one is case 3. The detailed analysis of case 3, this case 3, will also do in the coming lectures. Then in the upcoming lectures I will explain what will happen after this point, how this is going to follow a parabolic path, and what type of things they can ask in case 3, because this case 3 is going to be a crucial point that they can ask. As well as in case of circular motion, now will involve non-inertial frame of reference also. तो चलो, that's all for today. Thank you all of you. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.